When lilacs last in the dooryard bloomed, and the great star early drooped in the western sky in the night, I mourned, oh, and yet shall mourn with ever-returning spring. Ever-returning spring, Trinity's shore to me you bring. Lilacs blooming perennial, star that droops in the night, and the thought of him I love. In the dooryard fronting an old farmhouse, near the whitewashed palings stands a lilac bush, tall growing, with heart-shaped leaves of rich green, with many a pointed blossom rising delicate, with the perfume strong I love, with every leaf a miracle. And from this bush in the dooryard, with delicate colored blossoms and heart-shaped leaves of rich green, a sprig with its flower I break, while in the swamp, in secluded recesses, a shy and hidden bird is warbling a song. So solitary, the hidden thrush, the hermit, withdrawn to himself, avoiding the settlements, sings by himself a song, song of the bleeding throat, song of the bleeding throat, death's outlet song of life it seems. For well, dear brother, I know, if you were not granted to sing, you would surely die. Over the breast of the spring, amid cities, amid lanes, and through old woods, where lately the violets peep from the ground, spotting the gray debris, amid the grass in the fields each side of the lanes, passing the endless grass, passing the yellow-speared wheat, every grain from its shroud in the dark brown fields uprisen, passing the apple tree blows of white and pink in the orchards, carrying a corpse to where it shall rest in the grave. Night and day journeys a coffin. Sing on, you there in the swamp, oh singer, bashful and tender, I hear the notes of your call. I hear, I come presently, I understand you now. I understand you now, but how shall I deck my helpless song for the large sweet soul that is gone? And what shall my perfume be for the grave of him I love? Amid the processions long and winding, and the flambeaux of the night, with the countless torches lit, with the silent sea of faces and the unbared heads, with the waiting depot, the arriving coffin, with the 1,000 voices rising strong and solemn, with all the mournful voices of the dirge poured around the coffin, the dim-lit churches and the shuddering organs, where amid these you journey, with the tolling bells' perpetual clang. Here, coffin that slowly passes, I give you my sprig of lilac. Lo, body and soul, this land my own Manhattan, with spires and the sparkling and hurrying tides and the ships, the varied and the with grass and corn, covered with grass and corn, the violet and the purple morn, the calming evening delicious, the welcome night and the stars, enveloping man and land. Now while I sat and looked forth at the many moving sea tides, and I saw the ships how they sailed, and the summer approaching with richness, and the fields all busy with labor, and the infinite separate houses, how they all went on, each with its meals and minutiae of daily usages. Lo, then and there, falling upon them all, and among them all, enveloping me with the rest, appeared the cloud, appeared the long black trail, and I knew death, its thought, and the sacred knowledge of death. I fled into the receiving night that talks not, down to the shores of the water, by the swamp, to the shadowy cedar trees, and the ghostly pine so still, the ghostly pine so still, and the singer so shy, the gray-brown bird, received us comrades three. He sang the carol of death, and a verse for him I love. Yet to each and all, retrievements out of the night, the song, the wondrous chant of the gray-brown bird, and the tallying chant, the echo aroused in my soul, with the comrades mine and I in the midst, and their memory ever to keep for the dead I love so well, for the sweetest, wisest soul of all my days, and this for his dear sake, lilac and star and bird twined with the chant of my soul, there in the fragrant pines and the cedars dusk and dim. When lilacs last in the dooryard bloomed, and the great star early drooped in the western sky in the night, I mourned, oh, and yet shall mourn with ever-returning spring, ever-returning spring. Trinity sure to me you bring, lilac blooming perennial, drooping star in the west, and the thought of him I love.